morning. It's Monday, September 14th. I am just now getting up. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. The sun's not up yet. So I have almost packed up. I'm trying to get on the road by 6:15. The videos will be limited. I'm trying to conserve my battery. I have no way to recharge my phone and it's only Monday. The only way I can do it is if I find somebody with a cord, which I did last night. So I have a full charge, but I'll be limited on what I can say or what I can show. This is Cooper Brook. So quiet. So I'm heading to get my resupply, and as I think about the resupply, actually don't forget to bring an extra iPhone cord, but if I was doing this right, that's like 4 miles from camp to there. I should have eaten breakfast there, left the trash, and I could have put a Gatorade or something in there, drank it while I was there, and left the trash. So if you're doing a resupply, think about what you can do while you're at the resupply spot so you don't have to carry as much out. I just came off the trail and close to JoMary Road, and I ran into somebody doing trail magic. Her name is Pineapple.
Good morning.
Well, can you explain why you're out here? This is amazing.
I don't know if there's an easy answer. A friend of mine attempted the trail 6 years ago, and when I was doing some research, I found out about trail magic, and I just knew. I just love hospitality, and I knew it'd be a good fit.
So your trail name Pineapple means?
The symbol for hospitality.
So that's nice.
Yeah. It's that Maine is the most remote state. There's just a benefit to hikers being out here, so that's my hope.
And you said you were up at 4 a.m. Where did you have to drive from?
I live in the state capital, Augusta.
Augusta,
Maine.
See, I didn't even know where that was. Wow, so this is very much appreciated. Not expected at all. So thank you very much for coming out.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, I did my resupply. My pack is heavy. And I head back out. I had to fix my top of my foot on my left foot. I probably commented a few days ago. I have to loosen my shoe. Hopefully that didn't cause any other problems. All right. Heavy pack. Full up. It's gonna force me to eat. I have to say this trail from the Mary Jo Road has been really good. I mean, there's rocks and stuff, roots, but nothing like it had been. And I'm sure it'll change, but it's been nice. So I ran across Steve as I was hiking off of JoMary Road, and he is a wealth of information. Can you tell me how long you've been out in these woods and what you like about them?
Since I was 20. And I've been fortunate enough to come back and visit numerous times and see different things and notice different things. And I'm sitting on a 100-year-old tree that fell down this year. It's a Canadian hemlock. This is what I came to see.
Yeah, so you have a good interest in trees. So that's one of your hobbies, right?
It's one of my hobbies.
Yeah.
It's an easy hobby. Just buy the guidebook.
So of all the time that you've spent out in the woods, what's been the most unusual thing that you've seen?
A bull moose in full charge running right at me.
And what did you do?
I took his picture.
And then what?
He looked at me and turned and ran gracefully down the trail.
Oh, I bet your heart was pumping.
It was the most exciting thing I've ever seen on the trail.
Wow. And he's got a moose on his shirt, and I have yet to encounter one on the trail. So those are huge. So what are you supposed to do when a moose is in your vicinity?
You don't have to do anything. In this time of year, the bulls are out chasing one another for territorial rights. They behave a little differently. That's what happened to me. He bugled and tried to fight with another moose. I just happened to be in the middle of it. But they'll just look at you. They'll walk away. They're nothing to worry about.
Okay.
It's very rare that they do anything out of the ordinary.
That's good. I've never encountered one where I've been that close. So anyway, I appreciate you letting me put you on video. So it's been nice talking with you.
All right. I'm going to be famous.
Thank you. Tina, I'm thinking about you. Look what I found. Beaverbrook Falls. I'm supposed to go swimming if I'm born. But it's not. So I'm at the leanto for lunch. 8 miles in. You know, you would have liked this part of the trail. It's probably a good, I don't know, 6 miles of relatively decent trail. It's supposed to last until I get to this little Boardman mountain. And then it'll start getting rocky and rooty again. But I would say 10 miles of nice trail. You do run into this every now and then, which is kind of boggy stuff. I tried to put boards out. Some of them are not the best shape. This is Crawford Pond Outlet. And the trail crosses over the boulders. I am past Crawford Pond now. I'll be going up Little Boardman. This is a parking area where Steve actually parked. So although they say the 100-mile wilderness is remote, there is ways to get in here. And people do. So much for my good trail. I think this is the way it's going to be the rest of the way. I'm at the top of Board Mountain. It's actually very chilly up here. Can you see the leaves are starting to change over there? Going down Little Boardman. That was pretty chilly up on top. Should have put some gloves on. Took my break on top. I'm trying to get to a mountain pond and then make a decision whether to keep going. If I go another 2 miles today, that'll take 2 miles off of tomorrow, and I have to go over Whitecap tomorrow. My smooth trails have gone away. I'm back to rocks and roots. Rocks right now. I need to get water. So this is the spring I will get my water from. It's better than a pond. It's about 3:35 now. It took at least 15 minutes. What a pain. I gotta check out my water bladder system. Seems like I'm getting a lot of air in my water bladder when I fill it. And that's because I'm not taking it out of the bag and I'm just filling it through the hose. I'm not sure why air's getting in there. All right, so it's 3:35, so I still got daylight. A couple hours. Mile and a half an hour. 3 miles in 2. That would be 5:30. So I might try to make it to that shelter. The only thing is there's a river before it that I might have to ford with shoes off. So we'll see. Decisions. It's Mountain View Pond down there. So I have to go to this East Branch Ford, which means I probably have to take my shoes off. And then I'm not making it to Logan Brook Lean-To. I'm going to do the Lean-To before that, and Whitecap Mountain tomorrow. So I might be able to get across without waiting. I think if I stay on top of these rocks right through here and go across, I should be okay. Wish me luck. We have a shelter full of people tonight, and Hollywood is one of them. Why don't you describe what you're doing on the trail, or where, how you're doing the trail?
I am doing a FlipFlop hike that started in Harper's Ferry. Originally it was a northbound, but I had like a 70-day unexpected zero.
Because
the world decided to go nuts.
Yeah.
And, I've watched all the YouTube blogs, I've read a ton of books. Nobody ever said what to do if there was a pandemic. So I got off the trail, and then when things started to open back up, I got back on the trail.
And
I'm very glad to have done so.
So you started at Harper's Ferry?
Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. The bridge was out, so I started, my dad dropped me off on the road, and I kind of scooted down back to the bike path and walked to the edge of the bridge. So
okay.
The bridge is magical. The day the ATC reopened the trail, it magically was finished getting fixed. So now I can walk across the bridge into Harper's Ferry. So that's fun.
So you've experienced quite a bit of the trail already. How many miles do you have in?
Darn close to 1,100.
And you started in June
8th.
What's your most unusual encounter on the trail?
Well, I met Odie from the hiker yearbook in Duncannon, and the way I met him was I had gotten there at like 10:30, and he saw me waiting for the pizzeria. I just come out of the pizzeria with a cheesesteak, because cheesesteaks have kind of been my thing on trail ever since Penmar. He catcalled me from his car, and I thought somebody was just messing with me. I was like, what the... Man, I thought this was a hiker town. And then I would sit down and eat my cheesesteak, and all of a sudden he comes up and was like, oh, that was me. And he introduces himself as the guy that runs the hiker yearbook. And I've talked to him for like 5 minutes, and he goes, you want to go kayaking? And I was like... And, I not know. And, it was just kind of strange to me, and I didn't know the guy. So I was like, well, no, man, I'm trying to go up to, like, Peters Mountain today, so I'm just going to hike. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. It's supposed to thunder and lightning, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. And then, sure enough, I was walking on the ridge and the thunder and lightning. That was smart.
So you didn't end up kayaking?
I did not kayak. But the next time I ran into Odie, he gave me this bracelet for the hiker yearbook, and I've literally haven't taken it off since I've gotten it.
All right.
So that's from Pennsylvania all the way to here, and yeah, it was cool. Like I've had some pretty cool experiences. I stayed in Palmerton at this trail angel's house named Squeak. Oh. And she's fantastic.
She has the backyard.
The backyard in Palmerton, and she slack packed us, and the only thing she asks is that you write in her log, which is one of 2 logs that I've written in, hers and Captain Stash's, which I think he's in Vermont. He's in Vermont right before New Hampshire. But again, let you stay in their yard, and all they ask is that you write in the hiker log.
Very nice. So do you have a summit date in mind?
Gonna summit on the 19th, assuming weather's good and my body holds up. My ankle's a little sore. But yeah, I've been walking with barefoot. We've been slack packing a good bit, and he figured out a way to have us slack pack the last 18 miles of the 100-mile wilderness. So we'll have slack packed 48 of the 100 miles of the
That's amazing. I didn't even know that was possible. So
where there's a will, man.
So that's through Shaw's, right?
Shaw's was the first 2 days, and then I think the AT Lodge. He's the
from Millinocket.
He's the mastermind behind all of it. I'm just kind of along for the ride.
Oh,
It's nice. I've just kind of piggybacked off of them and have managed to slack pack like easily over like 100 miles of me.
That's all right. I don't think there's anything wrong with slack packing.
I think it's the best. These ultralight people have something to their plan. The lighter your pack is, the more enjoyable your hike is.
If I had known, I would have slack packed this area too. So.
Oh yeah, no. I met a guy named Rocky the Flying Squirrel who was slack packing himself. He just leapfrogged his vehicles. He had 2 vehicles and just he said he'd only carried a rail pack twice.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure he did most of the trail.
Well, congratulations early.
Thanks.
It's coming up quick.
I'm excited.
So thank you.
So I'm Old Oriskiny, and I'm from Pittsburgh, PA, and I'm out here doing the Appalachian Trail. And I started back in June on the 5th. Actually the 6th I did Springer, and from there I went north to Pennsylvania as far as Swatara Gap, and then just on Friday I flipped up to Maine so that I could walk back to Pennsylvania before it got too cold and snowy, I guess.
I think you're still going to run into some cold.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's going to be a challenge to get, over some of the higher elevations without, any kind of technical equipment or something on my feet that, rips the ice. So we'll see.
So
Just take it one day at a time.
Do you have the means to get all that equipment if you need it? Or
I'll figure it out as I go.
figure it?
It's a little ways off, so I can probably talk to some folks at the next hostel and see what they recommend if it's necessary at all.
So, there's a lot of reasons people are on the trail. What brought you to the trail?
Well, it's something I always wanted to do since I was a kid, and I had the opportunity when I was younger, and I didn't go, and I always kind of, felt bad and regretful for not having done it, and I retired a couple of years ago, and so I'm a kid again, so I can do all that stuff.
Nice. So you must like the outdoors.
It's fun.
What's your favorite sport?
Probably golf. And that I do that more than anything. But I do several canoe trips every year, and I do like to hike. And I, in the last year or so, I've spent several hours every day, every afternoon, just hiking in nearby parks and wooded areas. So more probably in anticipation of doing this than anything else. It was kind of a training exercise, I guess.
So you've gotten quite a few miles on you now. So does anything stand out for you?
I mean, every day there's something that stands out, I guess. To name just one thing, I guess it's just the diversity of the type of mountains and the type of terrain that comes with each of those kinds of mountains. And it's interesting. I'm a geologist, so going from like the metamorphics into the sedimentary basin, there's differences in the rock types, obviously, but also in the ways they deform and the way that they form ridges and such. And it seems like Pennsylvania, even though those ridges are much lower and in many ways flatter than most other areas, the Tuscarora sandstone is just so hard on your feet.
Yeah.
And everybody experiences that and seems to comment on the same thing.
Rocks just didn't stop. I mean, it's in the end of Pennsylvania there.
Yeah, it just continues, right?
Yeah, as you go north there.
Sure.
So, anyway, I appreciate you allowing me to interview you, so thank you. Big news of the day was trail magic at the JoMary Road where I got my resupply. Her name was Pineapple, and she had a very nice setup. I had hot chocolate with whipped cream and a banana. So thank you, Pineapple. She has a Facebook page that is Pineapple on the Trail, which I'll need to check out. And I've got an interview of her. The other person I ran across was Steve. He was from Maine. He was just out enjoying the woods, and it was nice to talk to him. So I got a little bit of an interview from him. Thank you, Steve. And then the other interviews today are from Hollywood, who is going northbound. He's doing a flip-flop out of Harper's Ferry. And then there is a geologist. And then I did not get an interview with Robin and Kelly, but they were here at the shelter. And I also ran across here at the shelter with Hollywood was Barefoot Gardner. And we met him at Norwich Hostel. So it's kind of nice seeing people come through. It was a big day, 16 miles. Just smooth sailing at the beginning. Very nice woods. Vito would have loved it. But then it got to the mountain, the Little Boardman Mountain, and that was a little work. And then it was back to rocks and roots. It got a little chilly also today, and it's getting colder. I borrowed a cord for tonight. I'm gonna go return it now. Got my phone charged, so that was nice of Robin to let me borrow it. We'll see how far I get tomorrow. It could be a short day, or it could be a long day. The long day would be more like 16 or so miles.